Something that we do not like when we invest in crowdlending are loans that are late and loans that are defaulted. But what if I told you that we can get great benefits by investing in defaulted loans? This is what INDEMO brings us. It is a new platform, a regulated one where we will be able to invest in discounted debt and get a high return of around 15%. Stay until the end of this video because I am going to tell you all about how to invest in this platform, what the investments consist of, and also the profitability that we are going to be able to obtain. Before we start, I would like to invite you to the Telegram channel where you can share experiences and opinions with other investors. Below in the description you will find the link, and I would also like to invite you to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss more interesting information about investments. Now let's get started. INDEMO is one of the newest platforms in the crowdlending investment market. But not only is it a new platform, it also offers a novel investment idea. In INDEMO, we will be able to invest in discounted debt, something that no other investment platform offers so far. In the future, it will also offer us the possibility of investing in mortgage loans, but that will be in years to come. Right now, what we can invest in is this discounted debt, and I am going to explain what this consists of. When we invest in discounted debt, what we are investing in is loans that have defaulted. But let's go back a little further to understand. Many large banks do not manage their defaulted loans. These loans, this debt, is sold to companies specialized in debt recovery that will take care of all the procedures and all the management to recover that debt, that loan that has not been paid. Here we are talking about loans that have a mortgage guarantee. What the specialized company does is to manage all that debt until the property that was mortgaged is sold and obtains as profit the value of that mortgage. This is what we will be able to invest in INDEMO. The banks put up for sale at a reduced price these loans that are unpaid. A specialized company that is INDEMO's collaborator buys the most interesting debts, and we, the investors, are going to finance those debts that are bought at a discount. Once all the procedures are managed, we, the investors, are going to receive the return that is obtained from the management and recovery of that debt. So that is what we are going to be able to invest in right now in INDEMO, and that is what discounted debt is all about. By buying that debt for a much lower value than it is, at a deep discount, by selling the property, that mortgage that had the loan on it, we will get a return. And here there are some things that we must take into account and that vary with respect to other investments in crowdlending. If we are used to invest in crowdlending and we are normally used to receiving interest on a monthly basis and also to know what interest we are going to receive, even if it is not on a monthly basis but at the end of a project, in this case we are not going to know 100% of the profitability that we are going to obtain. What we are going to see on the platform is an expected return. Right now, the expected return on most investments is around 15.10% per year. And why don't we know what the return we are going to get? Because it will depend on when the property is sold, since we are making a calculation on an annualized basis, but it will also depend on the final value, and we do not know the value from the beginning. Although an initial appraisal is made to consider whether it is a debt worth investing in, they make an initial appraisal of the property, but until it is sold, the value can vary both downwards and upwards, so we do not know the final yield. What we can see is an example of a debt property that has already been recovered. It is an apartment in Huelva, and here the yield that has been obtained has been very high, because if we do it in annual calculation, I invested in this property in different notes, the last one in the month of February, and as I had very little time investing, the annual yield is very high. As you can see here in the yields, it goes from 66% to 118%. And as I have said, it is because it is calculated, we are calculating it on an annual basis. And the first investment I made in this property was in December and the last one in February. This is to give us an idea, but of course there are going to be other properties that will take much longer to recover, so the yield will be lower than this high yield. But I think it is realistic to expect this yield of 15.10%. To understand more about the investments that we are going to make in INDEMO, it is important to notice that it is a platform that is regulated. It is regulated in Latvia. Like other platforms, it is licensed as an investment intermediary, and it is supervised by the Central Bank of Latvia. And it is also registered with the CNMV as a European investment services company. Being regulated in this way, we are going to invest in notes, in financial instruments, and each of these financial instruments has different debts. This helps us to diversify our portfolio. Within the platform, we will be able to see all the information about each one of these properties and all the documentation. We will also be able to see the flow, which is the process, the phase in which it is, the debt recovery phase. We are even going to be able to see a map, and as I was saying, we will be able to download and read them. Here we will be able to invest manually, directly. We will even be able to see a map of where the properties that each of these notes, these financial instruments include. If we go inside each of these financial instruments is where we will be able to see the whole summary of what this financial instrument consists of, in general, in global, that is, of all the properties that it includes, and then we will be able to see the other information. We will be able to invest from as little as 10 euros in each of these financial instruments, so we will be able to diversify. The only thing we have to keep in mind is that today most of the financial instruments have the same properties. So it is not so important to diversify in different notes, as it will be very similar what we will invest in each of them, and each of the financial instruments is already diversified in itself as well. We are going to be able to invest, if we wish, automatically. We have the auto invest here, and we will be able to manage the auto invest or configure it, but it only has very basic parameters. We will only be able to tell it what is the maximum amount we want to invest through the auto invest and if we want to reinvest. This is good to keep reinvesting the profits we receive without us having to worry about reinvesting manually, but I have been told that in the future, at the end of the year, they expect to launch a much more complete auto-invest and where we will be able to make a better configuration. To start investing in INDEMO, I will leave you a link below through which you can register and will be able to invest in INDEMO for all European citizens and some other countries outside the European Union as well. What will be necessary is that you have an account within the European Union. As always, it will be necessary to fill in all the data verification of our identity and also fill out a questionnaire. From there, you will be able to make a bank transfer and start investing. In the control panel, the first thing we are going to see are the products that you have available. Right now, we have two different nodes. We can also configure our auto invest if we wish, and then later we will be able to go to our portfolio. And here in our portfolio, we will have our portfolio in two different ways. We have assets and nodes. The assets are the properties in which we have invested, and under each one of them, we are going to see on what date we have invested, through which note we have invested, and we are also going to see basic information, and we can even see the note to which it corresponds. On the other hand, we have the notes, which are the financial instruments in which we have invested. And here in each one of them, we are going to see, well, the other way around, the properties that each one of those financial instruments includes. At first glance, all this may seem like a lot of information and maybe a little confusing. But once we start investing, it is easy to understand and we will get a pretty clear idea of really what we are investing in and also in all the phases. For example, here we are going to see the advanced stages in the debt recovery process of each of the properties. And here we see that, for example, some of them are at a very advanced stage. For example, this one here, we see that we already have access to the property. The lender company gains the right to physically access the property, and from there we can start the sale. Previously, they have been reporting when each of these phases in the process of debt recovery. As of today, INDEMO does not have a secondary market, but I know that they are working to launch it in the very near future. They are also going to launch very soon in June the advanced control panel, where we will be able to see much more information about our portfolio, and hopefully also in a much more visual way we will be able to see all the performance we are getting within the platform. And as you can see right now, the platform, everything in which we can invest, all the investments are in Spain. INDEMO collaborates with a main collaborator today, which is the company Tamarindo Vector SL. This is the company that buys debts from banks such as Santander, Sabadell, BBVA, or La Caixa, and they take care of the whole recovery process. It is a company that is authorized and regulated by the Bank of Spain. Right now, they only collaborate with this company, but they are evaluating and probably will collaborate with other companies in the future. For the moment, they are only going to specialize and they are only going to offer us investment opportunities in Spain. And what we are also going to see are investment opportunities in mortgage loans in the future. As I said at the beginning, INDEMO is one of the newest platforms in the market. It was born just over 6 months ago in the year 2023, and in these few months that it has been on the market, it has grown a lot. It has already funded more than 2 million euros and has more than 850 registered investors. That is a lot of investors for a platform that has been in existence for less than a year. And INDEMO has also informed me that Spain is the second country with the most investors on the platform, registered and investing. And what is my opinion of INDEMO? Well, I started investing in INDEMO a few months ago, almost when they began to operate, and so far I like the platform, I like the way it works, how it operates, all the information it offers. I think that the fact that it is a new investment idea is interesting since it allows me to diversify. Although I will not know exactly the yield I will get in each of the investments I am making, I find it interesting because the yield that can be obtained is very high. I am not going to obtain returns on a monthly basis either, but it is also true that this is more now at the beginning since there are many properties that are in process, but at the moment when it starts to recover debt, it will be a much more constant flow and we will be able to see returns, which will never be periodic, but we will see a greater flow since in addition, as we see, each one of the notes incorporates different properties and they have different recovery rhythms. As always, with all new platforms, I like to start investing little by little and see how they work. I certainly wish for a better auto-investment tool in the platform and also, of course, the secondary market, but I hope we will see this very soon. So for now, I will continue testing and investing more in INDEMO, and I will continue to inform you about it in the monthly portfolio update videos. So for that, I recommend you to subscribe to the channel to not miss all the important information about crowdlending investments. If you liked the video, give me a like, a thumbs up, it makes me happy and it helps the channel grow. If you want to start investing in INDEMO, below I leave the link so you can register and start investing. Please tell me in the comments what you think about the platform, and also if you have any questions, you know that I respond to all your comments, and if you prefer, you can also leave your comments and your experiences, share them with other investors in the Telegram channel. I leave you the link below in the description. See you soon.